Hey, it's Steve. You have all these new rifles come into the market. Calibers, cartridges, whatever you want to call them. Okay? PRCs, Creedmoors, this, that. And I'm not going to talk about the 7mm backcountry because that kind of falls into a different class. Okay? But a majority of these rifles, what is the actual reason that these have any legitimacy at all? After all, what we had was fine, right? Well, let's look at what I consider a few facts, okay? Older rifle cartridges. Nothing wrong with them, okay? To a great extent, I'm a traditionalist. Now, new cartridges. A lot of guys will say they just keep coming up with them, so, well, they can make money. They're a cartridge company. They have to make something new now and then. They have to build their business. And to some small extent, that is true. But let's take a look at rifle manufacturing and cartridge manufacturing and the changes that have been made with these new cartridges. The biggest difference is tolerances. That's right. The throat of the rifle, the bullet placement in the load, the tolerances are much tighter. What does that do? Well, that makes it so a bullet doesn't have to travel very far to reach the lands and grooves of the rifling. You've heard the term chasing the lands and grooves, trying to get that bullet seated so it doesn't have to have any chatter when it hits the lands and grooves. This has already been figured out. Okay. Number two, when we had the speed craze in rifles, a lot of times we wound up shooting shorter bullets. Okay? Lighter, shorter bullets. Well, that's good at most ranges. But if you really want to stretch out the range, whether you just want to go to the range and shoot far, 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 or whether you're a hunter that's going to shoot far, 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 this makes a difference. These rifles are, at least they tend to be more accurate than older rifles. Now, what does all that mean? Do I really need a new rifle? Do I need a Creedmoor? Well, no, you don't need a Creedmoor. As a matter of fact, if you're a 100-yard rifle shot, you don't need anything else that's come out. But with the evolution of rifles that can handle heavier for caliber bullets, let's say longer, thinner, more ballistically efficient with higher coefficients, and the correct rifling for those bullets, if you're going to shoot far, yeah, they have a lot going for them. And it doesn't mean just deer. Hey, if you want to take your deer rifle and go for prairie dogs or groundhogs or whatever, yeah, it becomes a better cartridge. If you want to go to the range, sure, it takes clicks off of the adjustment on your scope when you go to shoot far. So, is it earth-shattering? No. But is it worthwhile? To be honest, yes. There's nothing wrong with these new cartridges. And as a matter of fact, for a large segment of the population that's shooters and not just hunters, they offer quite a bit in the way of advantages. Till next time, I'm Steve.